We are so fortunate this evening to have Lama Tashi back here with us as our guest speaker, our revered guest speaker this evening here. Lama Tashi has been coming to Charlottesville for a couple of years now with the Jefferson Tibetan Society, who is co-sponsoring this talk this evening. And you can find more information about Lama Tashi's other activities here this fall on the Jefferson Tibetan Society website. Lama Tashi will be offering a half-day retreat and near the election time, so it's a very well planned time for a half-day retreat, and then a full-day retreat on Bardo's Death and Dying on November 23rd, as well as some other programs right here in Charlottesville. So this evening, Lama Tashi is going to talk with us about how within our own Buddha nature, we have innate qualities of compassion and equanimity. Yet, if you're like me, there are times when we find these qualities more difficult to access, and we need a little extra help, a little boost. And so Lama Tashi will be sharing some of these methods from the Tibetan Buddhist tradition for enhancing the development of these innate qualities like compassion and equanimity. And he's also going to be sharing with us a transmission of how to visualize and recite the mantra of the archetypal Buddha of compassion, known as Chenrezig in Tibetan, or Avalokiteshvara in the Sanskrit, Kuan Yin. This is a very special opportunity. And Lama Tashi is also going to be sharing his powerful chanting with us. And we're going to have, as a sangha, the chance to participate in practicing the mantra together as a portal for settling into our natural state, or I would add back into our natural state. So I do want to be proper and read more formal introduction of Lama Tashi. And thank you, Brianna, for having this slide up. So Lama Tashi, and his full name is Geshe Ngawan Tashi Bapu, and Geshe means it's essentially like a PhD equivalent. So Lama Tashi has been through decades in the traditional Tibetan Buddhist monastic education system and has achieved the highest degree possible there. So he is truly an expert. Lama Tashi is also former principal chant master of Draping Loseling Monastery, which we're seeing here on screen. It's one of the largest monasteries of the Dalai Lama. And of course, it's the monastery in exile due to the Chinese occupation since the 50s. Lama Tashi has led long life puja chanting for the 14th Dalai Lama, as well as the preeminent 99th and 100th Gaden Tripa Rinpoches, that position as the head of the Gelug sect of Tibetan Buddhism. And he's also led chanting for many more highly revered masters. And the long life puja that he has led is a very popular traditional healing ceremony that involves a multiphonic chant performance to heal the listeners and increase their lifespan. So we'll get a flavor of that this evening. And then Lama Tashi also led the chanting performance of the traditional Great Prayer Festival at Bodh Gaya, presided over by His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama in 2002. And then also, Brianna, if we could go to the next slide, at the Smithsonian, that's His Holiness the Dalai Lama sitting in the throne, and that's Lama Tashi to His Holiness's left, and also on that large screen behind. So this is at the Smithsonian. Do you remember what year it was? 2000, the year 2000. Wow. July 4th of 2000. Oh my gosh. Wow. So yes. And then let's get my screen to rotate back here. And I'm almost done talking. Lama Tashi also served as the principal and director of the Central Institute of Himalayan Culture Studies in Dahung, from 2003 to 2012, and then again from 2012 to 18 when he was the director. And while at the Institute, he taught Buddhist philosophy to university level students. And then the fun does not end. We can go to the next slide. Yes, Lama Tashi was nominated for a Grammy. Can you believe it? The first Tibetan Buddhist monk to be nominated for a Grammy. And it was for his album, Tibetan Master Chants. And he was nominated in the Best Traditional World Music category for his amazing multiphonic, sometimes called deep throat chanting. So we are so fortunate on many levels to have Lama Tashi with us as a scholar to the highest degree, as a chant master, and I can say personally, just a real human being and a friend who is so kind and embodies all of the qualities that at least I aspire to. And just such a delight to have you here with us, Lama Tashi. Did I miss anything? Did I miss anything in introduce? Okay, all right.
Good evening, and thank you so much for having me here. And thank you very much for giving your time with me, sharing your time with me. First, I will start with the chanting, and then will be sitting motivation. Of course, when we set the motivation, we try to set the motivation that's intended for entirely within the business. Intention. Whatever I am here, why I am here, that's the answer should be. I am here so that I can become or transform my consciousness into an enlightened one so that I can help to all other beings. One of the Buddhist important point is teaching, right? So it's not like, we can feed them other beings or so on. Best way to help others is to give them the knowledge so they can free themselves. That is Buddha's principle. So to give them a perfect teaching, we need to be enlightened ourselves first. So enlighten ourselves is very important to help all other beings. So we will set this motivation for the benefit of all sentient beings. I want to transform my consciousness into an enlightened consciousness. And for that, I am here. So we will set this motivation. So the reason that motivation is important, because motivation decides our action. Maybe I'll share a story. Once a monk was circumambulating a campus of a big monastery. And on the way, he saw a statue of Buddha made out of clay at an open area, and suddenly there was raining. So he looked there and he can tell that, it's going to destroy the statue because of the rain. And he wanted to cover it with something and he couldn't find anything. And he was just searching and searching. And finally, he found a piece of a leather. And that was actually a piece from a shoe, torn shoe. And he was very doubtful. Shall I put this on top of the statue? Because this is part of shoes. It will be completely disrespectful, right? To covering the holy statue. And then, but he didn't have any other option. Then finally he said that, sorry, Buddha, but I have no other option. To protect your statue, I have to use this. And he put that torn shoes, almost like a piece of shoes, on top of the statue to protect the statue. So his intention was positive, right? And then he continued his circumambulation. And next day, another monk was on his way doing the same kind of circumambulation. And he saw this shoes on top of the holy statue. And he said, how can someone put the shoes on top of the statue? He just took it and threw it away. And it says that they both accumulated good karma because of their intention. Although the action was completely opposite, right? One placed the thrown shoe on the statue, one removed it. The action was completely opposite, but karma was both positive karma. They accumulated from these two actions. Two completely opposite action, but because of the intention, they both were doing the positive, committing good karma. So that's why setting motivation is very important. So it's also said that when you go to bed, before you go to bed, if you can set a positive intention and sleep, entire night you will be accumulating good karma. So, you can be doing nothing, but collecting good karma. Right? That's very important. So, that's why setting motivation is very important. So whatever, I'm going here is for the benefit of all sentient being. In the sense, how it's going to be for the all sentient being, because through this meditation or listening to this and practicing the Avalokiteshvara, I want to enlighten myself so that I can help the perfect path. So that is what the Buddha's the main goal, Buddha's main way of helping others by teaching. And there's one stanza, I cannot, Tunam Dupachi teaching, it says, I cannot wash away your negative karmas and negative emotions with water, and I cannot separate your negative pains and negative karma from you with my hand. Neither that I can give some of my quality and insert in yourself. That's the three things Buddha cannot do. That's Buddha clearly said that. But I can help you by giving the direction, and you can free yourself from the pain. You can achieve the greatest achievement, and for that I can give you the direction, and that is how I can help you. Buddha said that. So Buddha's main point was teaching, and that's the way how he helped his followers. And that's why it says that you should be your own master at the end, right? So by the teaching. So setting that motivation is very important. I will help other beings by giving them the perfect direction in future. So for that I am here. So please set that motivation. When I chant, so Thank you. So our main goal is to become like Buddha Shakyamuni, right? So that we can help other beings as he did. So thank you again. Now we'll start with some breathing meditation. So there are many different kind of breathing exercises or meditation. One most simplest one is to count your breathing. So without thinking anything else, just judging, just looking at your breathing, just watching it and counting it. And you are not even thinking that whether am I breathing correctly or not. Don't even think that, you're just counting it. That's the simplest way. And then another one, which is not necessarily the Vajrayana tradition, that's taught by one of the master, mentioned in the book by Geshe Namgyal Wangchen in the Lamrim. You say you visualize 3 channels, right, left, and central. That's mainly to just, and then you breathe in from left channel. When you breathe, kind of thinking that you are breathing in from your left nostril, breathing in, and it goes all the way down to the sacral chakra. And there you visualize that the right channel and left channel is connected, talk to each other, and then breathe out from the right channel. And then here you visualize that all your negative karma and your sicknesses, everything negative in your right part of the body is kind of throwing out from your right nostril. You do it 3 times, breathe in, breathe out. So by 3 times, when you finish 3, you just set a mindset that everything that negative in your parts are gone and right part of your body is gone. So you are half clean, this side is clean. And then you change breathing in from the right and then breathe out from the left. And then this time you kind of thinking that everything at your negative part, things in your left part is kind of throwing out, kind of removing from your body. And then you do 3 times. And then again, you generate a mindset at the end that, okay, everything negative in my left part is gone, right? And then you untuck the right and left channel at the lower end, and then you join that to this, insert it to the central channel from its lower end. And now you breathe in from the right and left, and then breathe out from the central channel. This time, whatever they left at the central, you clean it. Again, everything negatives are gone by the 3rd time. So, and then at the 9th stage, you just visualize that you are completely pure. All the mistakes you have done are all excused or forgiven, purified. All the negative karmas are purified. All the negative emotions are purified. All your sicknesses are cleansed, healed. You did 9 times. And then 10th, you breathe in from right and left, and then half, right? You breathe in like 50-60% of your breathing, and then you visualize that it comes up to the central part of your body. And then you breathe in from the upper end of your central channel, and then it goes down, and then you visualize that you kind of form a air ball at the center of your body at the navel level, and then hold your breathing. And this time, when you breathe in, right, you visualize all the blessings of the Buddhas, of all 10 directions, just enters to your body, and then just kind of set in your body. They all settle in. Now you are filled with the greatest blessing and positive energy in yourself. And then you don't let it go for right away, just hold it in yourself. And then you visualize that it seeps in every part of your body. Like now the modern science talks about the cells, right? All your cells of your body are just absorbing all those energy, and you get like fresh cells, and then all the healing energy in your body. And then you slowly, and then here you don't hold it until you're tired. You shouldn't let yourself get tired. As soon as you feel like you need to breathe out, just breathe out. And then breathe in again. Again, bring all the energy in yourself. And this one, you can go for like 5 times, 7 times, or 10 times, 11 times, or 21 times. So maybe we will do it like 11 times. So 9 plus 11, okay? So I think that just a relaxed position, one of the most important part, it says that your backbone should be straight. You know, you will find lots of body postures, but most important part is your backbone should be very straight. And then you bend your forehead a little bit. Okay, now we will do it, okay? Now we'll go for the practice of Lord of Compassion. We call Avalokiteshvara. I think in Chinese, in Vietnamese, they call Kuan, right? We call Chenrezig. And I think Sanskrit is Avalokiteshvara. So when we talk about this deity, Buddha, Bodhisattvas, especially when we talk about the Buddhas, different Buddha with a different image, different aspects, it's mainly by its characterized image. So in one end we call it like archetype being. So we believe in we can become Buddha at one point, right? So that means we can develop our compassion to its ultimate state, right? And we can cultivate our wisdom to its ultimate state. So that's where we call it enlightened being or Buddha. So same thing, when we talk about Avalokiteshvara, we are not just talking about third person, someone from Atlanta or New York, not like that. We are talking about the being. Mic closer? Okay, thank you. We are talking about the being that is someone who has completed form of compassion, mainly the compassion, his practice is mainly on compassion. Of course, he has the completed form of wisdom as well, but compassion being so Buddha in the form of aspect of compassion. So we will be practicing this. So now when we talk about practicing compassion, many people would say, why do we need to practice compassion, right? Our life is good enough. And then there can be argument, and sometimes that happens with ourselves as well. So why do we need to practice our compassion, and how we can develop the compassion, right? And when we talk about compassion, forgiveness is very important. If we cannot forgive, then our compassion will be limited. So when I talk about limited compassion, that means unable to extend to some certain people, certain being, right? I can have compassion towards you, but not that person who has been mean to me, right? Then that compassion is far away from the compassion of Avalokiteshvara. Avalokiteshvara's compassion is towards every being, or Buddha's compassion towards every being, right? Devadatta was always competing Buddha. You know that Devadatta, one of the cousins of the Buddha Shakyamuni? He was really sharp. He memorized Buddha's teaching, and it is said that the books that he memorized, if you put in a load, it will be load of the 500 elephants. So he was scholar. And he would always say, I can be second Buddha. If the Buddha Shakyamuni dies, I will lead the sangha. He was always claiming that. And one day, Buddha's doctor, personal private doctor, Mempa Tsuji Shunu, one of the greatest doctor, like medicine Buddha, in the form of human. And sometimes he will offer medicine to Buddha, and then those were much higher, like 8 times higher than normal human being. He would offer. And then right after Buddha left, the Devadatta rushed to the doctor and said, you offer medicine to Buddha? And say, yes. And what did you offer? And he said, I offer to for balancing the wind energy in the body. And said that, which medicine? And he showed this is the medicine I give. give me the same amount of the medicine, same dose. And said, no, you cannot take this. Buddha has a different kind of body. You cannot handle this. And he said, no, I am same as Buddha. Give the same amount, same dose. And then, he was very powerful, very forceful, and then said, okay, he just gave the double dose, 2 dose. Buddha took like 32 dose, 32 times, then the human, and he gave like 2 dose. And that kind of overdosed him, and he fell down. Devadatta. He took it, and he fell down. And Soji Jyonda said, see, I told you. He got dizzy, and he fell down. And then, of course, no other option. The monks rushed to Buddha. And they said, he forced the Soji Jyonda to take the medicine, and he took the medicine, and now he is unconscious. And then, please do something. And then Buddha came, and then Buddha put his hand on his head, the Devadatta's head, and said that if I do not have a bias between this Devadatta and my son Rahula, if I have the equal compassion towards these 2 persons, right? One is Devadatta, who always challenges me, and one is my own son. Buddha has son, right? Rahula? You know that, right? If I have equal compassion to those 2 persons, then because of that truth, may Devadatta healed right away. Buddha said this word of truth and placed on his head, and he just came back to conscious. That's what the showing that Buddha has equal compassion towards Devadatta and his son, Rahula. No differences, right? And that word of truth has the effect that just bring him back to conscious. And Devadatta was always Devadatta, right? He stand up and he saw the Buddha's hand on. Why you put your dirty hand on my head? He argued again. Why did you put your dirty hand on my head? He always challenged Buddha. So anyway, this is the story. That what the story tells us, that the compassion of the Buddha towards Devadatta and Rahula was completely equal, no differences. That's what we need, the compassion, right? To become like Buddha or like Avalokiteshvara. If we have this equal compassion, then you are also Avalokiteshvara. Right? Okay. And then number 2, the limitless amount of compassion, right? You can be walking outside and someone hit by car, accident, and you will have a compassion. You will definitely want to help that person, and you might want to take to the hospital, and then hospital will check and say, okay, he doesn't have the insurance. Now, either you pay it or we cannot take care of him. Then what would you do? You might ask, how much? Okay, 500. And you have a compassion. Okay, I can do it. 500 I can spend. And then the doctor said, no, 500 is 5,000. Then you might go, oh, can I? Or not, right? And then there can be, you can be strong enough. You can have the compassion to save his life. Okay, I can spend 5,000. And the doctor said, oh, sorry, 5,000 is not enough, 50,000. Then you might back off. Sorry, I cannot do that. So this is how we limit our compassion, right? So that limit shouldn't be there. If you reach to the limitless compassion, right? Even for the 1 person, we can sacrifice this much, not that much. And then you develop more. Okay, that much, but not that much. So there is another limitation there, right? So we need to break that limitation as well to become Avalokiteshvara or like Buddha Shakyamuni. So, right? No biasness, no excluding, not excluding one. That's the one challenge. And then how much compassion you can do it, right? That's another thing. And now, third one is when to do it, when I cannot do it, right? Sometimes when you are happy, you are willing to help other being. Sometimes you got tired and you want to lay down, right? Taking a nap, and suddenly someone came and knocked your door. Sir, madam, we need your help. And then sometimes we say, come on, I cannot help now. I'm tired, right? So again, we have limited there, time-wise. Sometimes I can help, sometimes I cannot help. And there our compassion fails, right? So again here, our compassion shouldn't decide based on time, whether I'm sick, whether I'm tired or not. So if we can develop that kind of compassion, whether I'm tired or not, if I can extend my compassion, that's the compassion that's going closer to the compassion of the Avalokiteshvara. That means you are becoming Avalokiteshvara soon, right? So first we need to understand the compassion. But for that compassion, we need to practice a forgiveness. Can we forgive? If we cannot forgive, then that person will get excluded. So forgiveness is very important. Number one, forgiving every being, and then compassion and love. Right? So this is what we are going to practice. Cultivate the compassion. Is it time to take a break? Yes. So we will want to develop that compassion towards all other being, no limited in terms of the being, not excluding any being. And then in terms of the quantity of compassion, like or the strength of compassion, up to 500, it's okay. But up to 5,000, I can't. And up to 5,000, it's okay. Up to 50,000, I can't. Like we want to break that limit as well. And then compassion, I can extend my compassion when I am happy, but when I am sad, when I'm going through some difficulties, I cannot do it. Not like that. So that kind of compassion, that's what we are going to practice through this recitation of the mantra and visualization and so on. So we will have a break and then restart. Thank you. Lower realm, and then pains and everything. And then when we think about those negative emotions and so on, we find ourselves very helpless. And sometimes, definitely, we feel pity on ourselves. I wish I am more capable. I wish I'm a little better, right? Sometimes we get that. But we do have this Buddha nature in ourselves. We have the quality to become like Buddha, become Avalokiteshvara. But still, one point is clear that, we are overpowered by our negative emotion and so on. So that one, if we think, like we think ourselves as how pitiful I am, same thing, whoever the person over there attacking you with the negativity, anger and so on, although they claim they are special, they do think that, oh, I'm special, I will, beat you, something like that. They have the negative emotion. But in reality, they are overpowered by anger. That means they are also in the same category as I am. So if we think that, oh, how pitiful you are, although you claim you are special, it can be someone very powerful, it can be someone very famous, it can be someone very rich, although they claim that I am strong, I am not a weak, but in reality, when they attack you with the negative things, that means they are overpowered by negative emotion. They are fallen in the same kind of this helpless situation as we are. And if we think from that angle, oh, you won't get angry, you will be able to forgive. Oh, he is also same as me, pitiful. Although you claim you are special, but I feel pity on you. That can come to you. If you think that carefully again and again, that's how we can practice forgiveness and then compassion. Okay, that's Nagarjuna's way of practicing compassion. This is very powerful if we think of that way, right? And one of my friends from Orange, he said that, we all struggle human beings. And he said that, whenever he looks at other people, although from the externally they look very luxurious and very, but somewhere inside in their life, they are also a struggling human being. And you say, there goes another struggling human being. So if we think that way, right? Even the most powerful man, the president of America or president of Russia, president of China, they are also struggling with some difficulties, right? So, and then especially the anger, when the anger attacks them, they have no control over themselves. So they become 100% the victim of negative emotion. And then if you look from that angle, they are pitiful. They should be, pitiful, right? They are in the pitiful situation, same as ourselves. That's what exchanging self and other. If we think that way, then you will be able to forgive. Just very recently, Lyle, he shared, my friend, he was there at the music room, and there's a lady teaching the music, and then next they were going to have a rehearsal, so the new group were coming. But the class was going on. One of the musicians kind of warming up and kind of adjusting his instrument, and he was playing loud. That was disturbing the teacher who was teaching the group of the boys, girls, students. And the Lyle said that he went to that man and said, can you stop it? It's disturbing, and that's not really, it's going to be like insulting to the teacher who is teaching his at class. And this man just got rage. How can you say like that? And Lyle said, instead of getting angry at him, he got that, oh, maybe he is going through a very difficult at home. Lyle said that, that was completely unusual for him, because usually he can get angry too. And then he said, maybe your teaching is helping me, or maybe, but the way he reacted, this man reacted to him, instead of he kind of get angry, he kind of got this idea. Maybe he's going through some difficulties at home, and this is what he's kind of pouring on me. So this happens with many people. So if we think from that angle, then we will be able to practice forgiveness, and we will be able to practice compassion, cultivate compassion. So that's what we needed. And then if that can get to the highest level, then that's Avalokiteshvara or Buddha Shakyamuni. Definitely, like His Holiness the Dalai Lama always refer to Buddha Shakyamuni. He is the one who taught us this wonderful path. Sometimes, most time we have, like in Tibetan, we have lots of deities, but overall, he is the greatest. Although, for us, easy to visualize Avalokiteshvara, so lot of compassion. They're sometimes helpful. But if we think carefully, everything is him, right? So always remind his kindness, and then you don't need to pray much. Just say, I want to become like you. Please bless me. That's the greatest prayer. So anyway, okay, today we will go for Avalokiteshvara. Let's think that Avalokiteshvara is one version of him. So I wanted to be like him. So the mantra is, so this will be transmission kind of thing. Om, can you repeat? Om, Mani, Peme, Hum. Om, Mani, Peme, Hum. Om, Mani, Peme, Hum. So Padma, actually that's a Sanskrit word and also same as a Tibetan, but D in Tibetan is silent, so we pronounce as Peme. And then Hum, it's written as a Hum, H-U-M. When you write, you don't change. That's how it's written. But one of the great master wrote a book called Lekshe Gurkhang. In that book, he kind of differentiate by saying, although writes the same way, like Om and Hum, you have the same kind of vowel and same kind of prefix, but when you pronounce it differently. When you say Om, you pronounce it by using the suffix ma, by closing your lips, om. But when you pronounce the hum, you do not close your mouth, you pronounce it hum, like leaving your lips open. So om, mani, peme, hum. But when you write, the suffix m is there in both, om and m. So here, in the case like om and hum. But when you write, it's right like with the suffix ma, but you pronounce it differently. That's one of the Tibetan scholar kind of differentiates that. So, so it is pronounced as Om Mani Padme Hum. Here, you can visualize the Avalokiteshvara in front of you in the space, or the Buddha Shakyamuni in the form of compassion, and then paying respect to him, and then requesting for his blessing. Okay, please bless me, so I can become like you, so I can help all other beings. And then, secondly, you visualize, you think as if the all sentient beings are around you, starting for the most beloved one. It can be your parents, it can be your spouse, it can be your brother, sister, it can be your animal, pet. You're starting from that most beloved one, because towards that being, we have the strongest compassion, right? So it's easy, it's more helpful. You start from there and then goes to your friends and relatives and all other beings. And then you visualize all of them are around you. So you visualize Avalokiteshvara or Buddha in the space, comes the blessing into you and heal yourself, bless you with the ultimate compassion. And then out of the compassion, now from your heart, you send your compassion out. You can send in two forms. One, the sound, the mantra. And then second one is the syllable, Om Mani Padme Hum, the letters going out. And whoever touched by the sound and the letter, they all transform into Avalokiteshvara. Okay, or like compassionate being. Like the mean person who is attacking you, you transform you bless that person into compassionate being with hope, right? Positive way. And then we say that, like, when we pray, we talk about, may he become healthy. We are talking about the future tense, right? So in the tantric practice, you take into present tense. They are held. He is held. He is fully compassionate. So if you think that way, it's more powerful. That's more helpful. I was surprised. One of I think the American or something, Greg Braden, he's some kind of healer. And he used that technique to heal someone going through the cancer. And he formed a group of people and they kind of say the affirmation, the word, you are healed, you are healed, you are healed. Everyone started saying that. And they found that these patients were completely healed after a few days. I don't know, that was how much, but he's sharing this story. So if you started to believing that you are healed, in one hand, it's a placebo effect. In other hand, this is power of the mantra. So here, we are going to use that as the present tense. All the beings who are from the hell realm and hunger ghost realm, you transform them all into the angelic being. Angel, right? Say, they are all compassionate, they are completely healed with anger and so on, so they are all healed. So we will recite the mantra. Maybe we will do the melody one. I think that's better, right? So two things, you visualize one, Avalokiteshvara or Buddha in front of you in the space with the kindness, just looking at you. What can I help you kind of attitude, right? And then when you kind of, by reciting the mantra, you send your request. Please help me become like you for the benefit of all sentient being. And he willingly, kind of pleasingly, he sends his blessing in the form of the mantra and the letter, and then just dissolve into you. And then you just, with joyous or what they call, pleasingly, you feel like, oh, I am compassionate now. Okay, I am completely healed. No anger, no hatred, no jealousy. Okay, I am completely healed, no ignorance. And now once you are healed, it's not enough to just enjoy and sit. Now I want to help all other beings. Then you think all the beings around you, bless them by sending the same kind of blessing out in the form of the mantra sound and the mantra letter and light. And then, in the actual practice, it says that the mantra should be most attractive, like all made out of gold, diamond, like, the things that you like the most. In that form, they goes out. And whoever get that's definitely, they are getting the most valuable thing there in their life. So touch them and then dissolve into them. You bless them and send them into pure land or in heaven, so on. Okay? We will do this. Please chant. I will do it with the melody. So if you can join with me. And this is the what we will do the meditation. In other words, you can say mental prayer, verbal prayer, and then mental prayer, okay? Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. visualize all the enlightened beings are sending their compassion, their blessing in the form of mantra, the sound that we are hearing, and then syllable that we can see on the screen that's filling entire space, and then coming into us, touching our body, touching our throat chakra, heart, transform us into most compassionate being, healed from all kind of sicknesses, all kind of negative emotions, all kind of negative karmas, healed us and make us, transform us like Avalokiteshvara, like Buddha. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Please continue. From this completely healed state, completely purified state of ourself, we raise light that's going out in the form of mantra sound, mantra letter, alphabets, and visualizing all sentient beings are around us, touching each and every one, purifying their body, speech, and mind. Heal them from all their sicknesses, all their negative karmas, all their negative emotions, ignorance, aversions, greeds, and so on. Transform them into the most healed being, most happy and blessed being, and most compassionate and most wisdom being that is equal to that of Buddha Shakyamuni, that equal to that of Avalokiteshvara, and that is all equal to that all the enlightened beings of the all 10 directions. Send your blessings and heal all other beings. And then generate a strong intention that I will free all those beings from the suffering. I will send them all to the enlightened state of consciousness. Continue that with no grasping, no holding, just let it flow, and let your mind, no judgmental, no grasping, just let it happening. Mani Padme Hum. Mani Padme Hum. Maybe we'll go for silence, just continuing that meditation, repeating the process. Thank you. So now we can just rejoice for what we have done. And then, of course, rejoice for all the good deed that was performed by Buddha Shakyamuni. Because of him, we are here, able to practice this. And then, of course, lots of good masters. And then, all other beings who have done good work, compassionate works, rejoice to their good merit and make dedication to make this world become better place for us to live. No natural disasters hits again. No wars will continue. No corona again. So pray for that. And then finally, may I become Avalokiteshvara as early as possible so I can help all other beings. Okay, thank you.